Just walked out the back, and there are these little toads. I think they're spadefoot toads. That's what they were in San Diego anyways. And there's fucking thousands of them here. Thousands and thousands of them. And we've been having a lot of rain, so a lot of mosquitoes, but with a lot of toads. Sunday, we had a good amount of rain, which filled the pond higher than it's ever been without us actually filling it with city water. And these bins are just sitting in the back catching rain straight on. And you can see there's about 2 inches of rain in these. And they say we have 5 inches coming later this week. Today's Wednesday. So we have the guys outside. It's pretty nice out, at least right now. It's not too hot. So we got the guys out doing outside stuff right now because we're going to be locked down with the weather coming. So I'm just going to walk through here and show you what we have going on and kind of do a before and after. I'll just shoot a little bit of footage right now, and then in a few hours we'll shoot some more footage and you can see what this looks like. So these big walls of limbs were all the way over here. Now this chipper's a little smaller than what we'd like to use, but it chips the wood chips up super fine, so the piles are a lot smaller than what a bigger chipper would look like. But this is where everybody shoots during the parties, and we want to get all of this chipped up, and then we'll push it out with a skid steer and then work on this one. So even if we don't get that back pile by the party, we'll have plenty of room for the guys to demo all their machine guns and stuff. And then the big pile there, it'll actually be bigger, but that's our bonfire pile. But it's a big ass half circle, and then we have this wall over here, and then these are the bigger, straighter poles we kept just for real rough fencing. We can just stack these and make fencing or whatever we need to. And then we've got, goes all the way back. Then we got a lot of wood chips we're adding into the track. So as soon as it's too hot out here, as soon as that sun's all the way up, it's too hot, they'll be on the tractors adding material in on the track, which will hopefully hold more moisture and cut down some dust, and definitely will cut down on a lot of the mud that's getting tracked around too. Because we use the track like we've been mountain biking on it and just hiking, walking the track during the breaks, and it'll keep the mud off. And then hopefully today we will get into the greenhouse here, the row house, pull this plastic skin off, and then we have shade cloth that will replace all of this. And then the blueberries are doing awesome. They definitely are producing. They have a ton of blueberries on them. Those are good. So real quick video. I'll come back in an hour and we'll do another video, and then we'll splice them all together. Here we are at 10 o'clock. You can see that the pile has shrunk probably about 30-40 feet, and there is now a new pile. We're working on a second pile. Is considerably shorter, and we have an extra pile or two of wood chips, and they're starting on yet another small pile, and they just chip it up, move it back, chip it up, move it back, so they don't have to keep moving it. They just move the wood chip through the pile. says that's a 6-inch wood chipper, but there's no way it'll chip 6-inch wood. We're lucky to get 3 or 4. So I kept seeing these, and I wasn't sure what I was seeing. But this is a snake egg, maybe lizard. It's very, very coarse compared to most of them. Maybe box turtle, I'm not sure. But where there's one, there's a bunch more. But this is the one I've seen. And then I kept seeing something over here that looked like an egg. And I just figured it was a mushroom because we've had a lot of mushrooms sprouting up, and especially with the rain right now, we'll have a bunch of them in the next few days. But I saw another one somewhere over here. Let's see here. I keep seeing it in the tractor, and I keep bypassing it just in case it was an egg. And I don't see it. I'm not sure where it was. Just this angle, I guess. I'm not seeing it like I was from the tractor. But there's one. We'll put it in some vermiculite and some humidity and put it up in the snake room and see what hatches out of it, I guess. So it's a 10 o'clock break, and a lot of them run over to the gas station or whatever, but a lot of the dudes just fucking keep working. I just walked up the hill just to see. We were getting some drizzle right now. We had a little downpour earlier. I wanted to see if it was enough to get water moving into the pond. The pond is fuller right now than it ever has been without us filling it off city water. And we got 2 inches of rain supposed to come in today, and 4 over the weekend. So this should be filled. When it's filled, the water comes all the way to the wood chip line, and this drop here, that's all concealed underwater. The whole thing will be flush almost with the ground, almost like an infinity pool. But I like to come up here. It's just nice. It's drizzling right now. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. But Curtis comes up and dumps some feed for the animals and opens the coops. They shack up at night. Most of them will go in the coops. We've got 2 coops here, and we leave them until 10 o'clock just so we get all the eggs. Otherwise, they'll just lay them all over the place. But the ducks are out, and they love this weather. These 3 here, they'll run around. They just fucking pack up, and you'll see them start chasing, and they'll just fucking, like, there they go now. That's one female, and those others are all males, is my guess, because the one's on the female and the other 2 are trying to get her at the same time. But this little this green wing, that green wing or that mallard or whatever that is, he just showed up when we moved on the property. He just appeared here. He's been here for 2 years now, and doesn't cause any problems, and we don't know where he came from, but he was not one of ours. And those peckins, you see them just fucking going, and the ducks, they're fucking little clowns. They're characters. Now they're over in the other paddock there on the other side, and it's just nice out right now. It's kind of calm before the storm. I got out for an hour and ran the skid steer up through here on the little farm access road trail that we have, and then got back on the motocross track and dumped a bunch of wood chips, and then our guys came through and raked them into place. I'm not real good with the skid steer, but I'm getting better. I couldn't smooth it out this nice, but I can get them in place, and it definitely takes a lot less manual labor. So all the way down, there's wood chips, and then on the trail, the whole piece there, and all the way up from the big uphill. It's a berm, uphill, double jump, single, and then you have to catch this berm back here, and you got to come in under power and just start understeering and get that ass end to swing around to catch and make this turn, especially with a 4-seater. So that's all in wood chips now, and that's the goal, is the entire track to be covered with wood chips, and just let them get mixed in by driving it and hold moisture and Same with all the access trails. Any place where we don't have grass growing and there's any exposed dirt, we're just going to keep covering it with wood chips and keep mixing in a little bit of forest soil here and there and wood chips from the rat cages and reptile cages, and just keep going and going and going. We had the gates here to the chicken pen. It's where we first dumped, and we had 12 to 14 inches of wood chips there, and now it's just it's like 6 inches. You can just stick your hand in the ground 6 inches all the way down to your wrist, and it's just rich black dirt now. And once we have it all covered, we'll go back to where we started, and we'll just keep covering it again. As long as we can get the wood chips or create the wood chips, we'll just keep doing it, and we'll grow something here sooner or later, and something other than rocks. And this was all a gravel pit. Like, they actually harvested gravel here to sell, chert, that red clay rock, like this stuff you see around here. So the rocks are still coming up, but we'll make the dirt deep enough that you don't see them anymore, and get some roots, and thinking daikon radish and stuff up through here, and a few other things, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to get back in and do real work now, and I got a bunch of belts I'm cutting, and we'll get back to that.